Antiquing and digging through thrift stores to find hidden treasures is a pastime enjoyed by many, especially when one stumbles onto something of value, or possibly even historic. But there are a few items out there that aren't worth the price you'll pay to own them. Here are 5 of the world's most cursed objects. Enjoy. The Mirror of Myrtles Plantation. One of the most haunted places on Earth, Myrtles Plantation, is home to one of the most cursed artifacts on Earth. It was tradition on this plantation that the mirrors were covered whenever someone died. It's said this was to keep the spirits from becoming trapped between worlds. But it is believed that they missed one mirror when Sarah Woodruff and her children died. They were poisoned by a slave and died on the premises, but one mirror remained uncovered. The soul of her and her children were trapped in the mirror and haunt those who look into it to this day. The plantation is currently a bed and breakfast, and guests have often complained of seeing figures in the mirror, along with the small handprints of a child. The Dibbuk Box. For those of you who don't know, a Dibbuk is a relentless evil spirit in Jewish mythology. Legend has it that a Holocaust survivor accidentally summoned one while using a homemade Ouija board and trapped it inside their wine cabinet. This was later purchased by Kevin Mannis in 2001, and he immediately felt the effects. He and anyone who slept in his house began to have vivid and terrifying nightmares. He eventually gave the cabinet to his mother, who had a stroke the day she received it. The last known owner of the box was Jason Haxton, who was the director of the Museum of Osteopathic Medicine. Not only was he plagued with nightmares, but he developed a serious skin condition and began coughing blood. With the assistance of local rabbis, Haxton hid the wine cabinet away so that it could cause no more harm to the world. Busby's chair. Convicted murderer Thomas Busby wanted to be the last and only person to sit in his favorite chair. He even strangled his own father-in-law for sitting in it. Before he was executed for this murder in 1702, he ate his last meal in his favorite chair, and when he finished, he stood and cast a curse on the chair, stating that anyone who sat there would meet a quick and untimely death. An alleged 63 people have done just that, sat in the chair, and subsequently perished, some only minutes later. The last known victim was a delivery man who died hours later in a car accident. The haunted chair now resides in the Thirsk Museum, where it is suspended in the air to prevent people from sitting in it. While it may only be a superstition, sometimes it's best to be overly cautious. The Cursed Wedding Dress. Anna Baker came from wealth, so when her parents found out she was planning on marrying a poor iron worker, they put a quick halt to their romance. Baker was devastated, as she had already purchased the wedding dress she planned to wear. After being forbidden to marry her true love, Anna Baker decided she would not marry anyone else, spending the rest of her life alone. When she died in 1914, the dress she bought was still in her possession. It remains on display at the Baker Mansion, where some visitors have claimed to see the dress moving by itself. The dress is sealed in an airtight enclosure, so a slight breeze cannot be the explanation. Some say it is the bride in death, celebrating the wedding she was never able to have while she was alive. Maori warrior masks. New Zealand's Maori warriors are part of an ancient tribe who would carve unique masks when it was time for battle. When a man died in the mask, it was believed that his soul would remain trapped in the mask they were wearing. Although their mythology does not dictate that any harm is done by the trapped souls, the presence of the masks has a strange and sometimes fatal effect on pregnant women. Women who are expecting often experience complications when they come in contact with the masks. It is unknown why this phenomenon occurs, but the museum that holds the remaining masks posts a warning that pregnant women should stay away, much like Thomas Busby's chair. Better safe than dead. Well, for those of you planning on delving into thrift stores and finding diamonds in the rough, maybe try and find out why the owners are trying to get rid of them in the first place. Maybe then you can avoid joining those who have suffered at the hands of a curse. See you next time.